In 2015, a player by the name of Zobros created a level called ZXCircleS. This level started out like a normal 1.9 level with a cube and some fakes. The ship made a great use of the slopes and the ball was nothing out of the ordinary, but everything changed once you got to the wave part. This part was revolutionary, and ZXCircleS skyrocketed in popularity. Many creators were inspired by the level and wanted to make their own versions of it. Since the flashing effect was really easy to replicate, we soon got levels like Fairy Dust, Jawbreaker, or the legendary Sonic Wave. The effect was later called the ZXCircleS effect. The level got so popular that even 10 years later, people are still making new ZXCircleS levels. Today, there are over 140 rated ZXCircleS levels, ranging from easy to extreme demon difficulty. And I decided to beat all of them. Before I actually start playing the levels, we need to establish some rules. Here it goes. Rule number 1. The level has to be rated. Well, obviously, because I'm not playing things like Silent Circles. Rule number 2. The level must be featured on the ZXCircleS Demon List website. This website will come in handy because it keeps track of newly rated ZXCircleS levels and it also sorts the levels from the easiest to the hardest. And finally, rule number 3. I must beat every level on the list, even if new ones get added. That means I will have to beat every level from the main and extended list in order to complete the challenge. Now that we've got the rules out of the way, let's get right into it. We are starting off with the easiest level on the list, Infinite Circles. The first thing that hits you right in the face is the design, which is just random, like look at this, or this. But when you get to the wave, it actually gets better. Until it doesn't. The gameplay was not fun for me. Both of the cube parts contain these invisible platforms that make the level unsight readable. The ship has a coin route, which is pretty much easier than the intended route, and when you get to the wave, it feels very energetic, but around 60% there is a 0.5 speed portal that spans through the rest of the level, making it feel quite boring. Well, at least the creator apologizes. I remember playing Ultra Paracosm when I was younger, but I never completed it. The things I didn't like the most back then were the blind jumps. For example, these orbs at the start or this blind transition at 80%, where you have to click right after the portal to not die. The gameplay is straightforward, but can be hard to read since the creator put the ZXCircleS effect even in the background. I also find it out of place that there is a random cube part in the middle of the wave. It feels like the creator didn't have any more ideas, so he just put a cube there and called it a day. Ratio Circles is our first 2.1 level. Thanks to the various arrows and indicators, the level is easily readable, so if you try enough, you can even beat it on your first attempt. Unlike the levels we played before, I feel like the coins actually serve a purpose. Except the last one, it's literally free. The wave is beginner friendly, so if you want to get better at it, this level is an excellent choice. Endline has really great effects throughout the whole level. I mainly like their take on the iconic ZXCircleS effect because it really makes the level feel unique. I don't like the first half of the level, since it is very slow and boring. Some parts may even feel empty, like the ball for example. Once you get to the wave, this is where things get a little bit spicy, because this part is much harder compared to the rest. So if you plan to play endline, practice the wave first, otherwise you will have a bad time with the level. SpaceCircles is one of the levels that uses a lot of fakes. Fake spikes, walls, etc. You love it, you name it. Since memory is my biggest weakness, this level took me more attempts than I anticipated. I don't have much more to say about this level, because once you learn all the fakes, the level gets actually pretty fun. I don't know how I should feel about Inferiorem Modum. On one side, it is super impressive that the creator managed to make a decent looking 9Circles level with just 500 objects, but on the other side, having only 500 objects is its biggest problem. The level looks good, however, it is super repetitive. The thing that annoyed me the most were the hitboxes. The hitboxes are very confusing. For example here, it should kill me, but it doesn't. If you don't have a start plus switcher, this level will be pain to practice since the backgrounds bug out, and in addition to this, the gameplay is randomized. Fun fact, this is the first 2.2 level on the list. Next up is Butterfly Effect. Right in the beginning, it has some blind jumps, but they are easily predictable. At the wave part, the creator cleverly puts bugs inside the structures. This makes it easier to sight read the level, and it also helps you to find the fakes. The worst part of this level is between 62 and 79%, because it is just copy and pasted source over and over again. It feels a bit lazy and it could have been improved. Somewhere around 90% there is a duel, which was such a difficulty spike, ending a lot of my runs. Hue Effect is a remake of the previous level we played. The creator took the original level and improved it a lot. For example, they indicated the blind jumps, and they even replaced the copy and pasted section with a UFO part. I like how they make the wave gameplay more sight readable by putting glow on the fake walls or putting saws inside the structures, similarly to the original. This time I didn't die at the end duel since it was much better indicated. Now we are getting to some political stuff. I think that Trump Circles took inspiration from this abomination. A level called Trump Boss Fight, where you fight Trump and try to destroy his wall. Anyways, Trump Circles is like a not great, not terrible level. The timings at the ball part can be a bit hard at first, but you get used to it pretty fast. The first half of the wave uses way too much glow, and the second half has a similar problem that Ultra Paracosm has. Because this level is a collab between 6 creators, the level doesn't stick to one theme. This makes the level feel more unique and fresh. Spacetime Error has some really nice visuals, especially at the wave section, where the black hole in the background gets progressively stronger the further you get. Gameplay wise, I feel like the pre-drop is harder than the drop itself. My favorite part is the last 10%, where they make the ship act like the wave. It looks goofy and it helps to get the impression that a spacetime error is happening. Also, it is possible to die at 99%. Yup, I learned the hard way. Problematic is one of the classics that everyone knows about and played at least once. It is also one of those levels that doesn't add anything new to the 9Circles genre. It feels like you take the original 9Circles, make it easier and change color. Well, I hope there won't be more levels like this coming up on the list. Besides that, I find this level pretty enjoyable. Retro Circles is a retro-themed level. It uses a glitchy version of the original 9Circles song. During the wave part, the structures glitch in sync with the song, which is a really nice touch. The glitches also affect the speed of the level. The only downside of this is that the level doesn't indicate when the speed will change. This can easily throw you off, resulting into a death that is pretty much not your fault. So try to remember where the speed changes, and you are good to go. Ultimate Circles feels like the creator straight up copied parts from other 9Circles levels and combined them into one level. And I know it's supposed to be the main gimmick, having one Ultimate Circles level to rule them all or something like that, but it just doesn't work for me. I don't think that the level is either bad or good, The only part that stands out is the wave section, because it uses this bright rainbow effect. It Really Circles is our second 2.2 level. You can see it right off the bat because it uses a lot of camera effects. For example, the wave part uses a blur effect that pretty much shows you how it looks like when you play Geometry Dash Drunk. But don't worry, you can turn these effects off if you want to. If you ask me, I think that the camera effects add more life and dynamic into the level, but if you overdo it, it can be quite a headache. The only thing that gave me trouble was this memory part at the end, because I simply didn't practice it enough. Freminet is another 2.2 level. This level is memory based, but you can still sight read it. Let me explain. Right in the beginning, the fake orbs flicker. Here at the spider, the fake orbs turn red right before you hit them, and at the UFO part, the fake gravity portals turn orange. And I must say, these little indicators really make the whole experience of playing the level much more pleasant. The wave part is okay, and I would say that it isn't even the main focus of the level. Most of the times when you are playing a 9Circles level, the wave game mode takes up like 60% of the level length, but here it takes only 30%. And it was a really nice change of pace. When you're playing 10Circles, it feels like traversing through some kind of fantasy landscape. Just take a look. The wave part uses this really cool equalizer effect, which is very unique. My favorite part would be the huge open wave section. It mixes normal wave gameplay with dash orbs and it is extremely fun. Only the ending was kinda tough, because it uses a lot of slopes, causing a lot of chaos. I think HamDuck Vortex is a very good example of a modern 9Circles level. It tries to make something new and exciting from the format we all know. I like the gameplay variety on the wave part, and I also like how it tries to throw in game modes that are not that frequent in 9Circles levels, like Robot or Spider. The only part that bothers me is the transition from the spider to the wave, because you're not given enough reaction time. ZXCircles is another good level. I came to the conclusion that I enjoyed the recent 9Circles levels more than the older ones. It is probably because they try to vary their gameplay and decoration. It feels like playing something new, even if it is another 9Circles clone. For example, ZXCircles has a original pre-drop, very fun drop, where the wave gameplay is not repetitive, syncs to the music, and overall, it is a very nice part. It is said that early 9Circles levels just copy the original, and I truly hope I will see more modern levels just like ZXCircles in the next episodes. SemiCircles is a vastly underrated level that I find extremely fun to play. In fact, this is my favorite level I played so far. The pre-drop is fairly easy, but on the other hand, the drop is the hardest thing in the level. The drop uses things like click in the gravity portal or you'll die right away thing, or flying through tight spaces. Since SemiCircles was built on a 1.9 GDPS server, it perfectly shows what 9Circles levels in this version could have been like if they wouldn't just copy the original. And that's the end of the video for today. I'm really looking forward to this challenge and I hope I can at least get to the extreme demons. I made a list of every demon 9Circles level, so if you want to try the challenge for yourself, the list IDs will be provided in the description. If you are still here, you can consider liking and subscribing to help the channel out. Also, if you are interested, you can watch the unedited version of the video without my yapping right here. Anyways, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next episode.